Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the Nerd Box. And today is our first live show. I am Dom.
I'm Deuce Major.
And today we are talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Quantumania.
Well, I say Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania because that's the title. But me personally is nothing but a Marvel Star Wars.
You know, I heard you say that the other day. I didn't feel that way.
Really?
No, not at all. I mean, I get why people are making the comparison color wise and stuff, but when you look at it, you know, it is a world within worlds with other, you know, places, and the aesthetics of it, you know, they really weren't the same. It's like when I think the micro type of organisms, they really embodied that for me, from the buildings to the architect. You know, it didn't really feel Star Warsy to me. I didn't see lasers going across.
But I mean, I'm not really talking about like
I know
like
you
the
talking
scenery,
about
but like the way they shot certain scenes and the way that they went about like the storytelling.
Yeah,
Those are Star Wars elements. Like it almost felt like they recreated the Rise of Skywalker, but as a Marvel movie. Have you seen that
I was
trailer?
about to say, nah, I hadn't seen that trailer.
I'm gonna have to show you that trailer because yeah, it looks just
I like it.
like all the way from you know like the you get what I'm saying.
But yeah, I didn't so much feel though the whole Star Wars thing. I did like what I saw visually. You know, it didn't seem. But then I guess I might have to go check out the what's the name, the trailer, Star Wars trailer.
Yeah, because so far a lot of the predictions we had was almost just about accurate.
I mean, from everything, what's her name, getting in trouble with being in law and learning quantum physics right after her dad left, so she became a quantum genius.
Yeah, and just gonna throw that out there that everything could have been avoided. This whole movie could have been avoided.
Yeah, it really could have been. You know, I really blame what's her name, Janet, for the majority of the movie. To be honest, yeah, she kind of had. You know, actually, I noticed a lot of plot holes in the movie. You know, this is a non-spoiler review, so I'm not gonna get into the details of it.
Yeah.
But I did notice a lot of holes in it. You know, as far as the movie goes, story-wise, storytelling-wise, what they've done from the first movie, the first Ant-Man movie, to right about now. So I kind of took the movie for what it was, and I could tell it wasn't to lead the Ant-Man story. The Ant-Man story didn't progress. The characters didn't grow.
Well, you can't necessarily say that.
Well,
Cassie definitely grew.
growth was minimal.
He grew.
Hank didn't.
Well,
Janet didn't learn anything, honestly. I don't even feel
Janet
like
has to be the worst character
Oh yeah,
in
trash.
the whole series.
Yeah,
like,
trash.
for multiple reasons,
Yeah.
and you'll understand this
Man.
when y'all go watch this movie.
Because she belongs to the streets. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, trash character. But you know, I didn't feel like there was growth with her. I didn't feel like the Wasp had any growth. I felt like she was just there as a character. I don't even know why her name is tacked on.
Well, I mean, she had her parts in this movie, but for the most part, she really was non-existent in this movie.
She felt more like support. Whenever Ant-Man was in a jam, she was there to bail him out type deal. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I would have liked to hear more about what had been going on, you know, with their lives prior to the Avengers. And they kind of skimmed over it, and then they just kind of jetted past it. It felt like the story it had been moving so quick You know, and mind you, this is a 2 hour and 5 minute movie, if I'm not mistaken. So
I mean, yeah. On paper wise, yeah, it's
yeah,
about a 5 minute movie. As everybody knows, there's a post credit and an end credit scene. We're not gonna tell you what it is. But let's talk about Cassie.
what about Cassie? What?
Did anything surprise you, or was there anything that you would have rather? I'm not gonna ask you what you would rather see, because that's kind of like telling.
Yeah.
What actually happened that's non spoiler that you can actually say that, okay, yeah, I can agree with that, or yeah, I would have liked to see that and they brought that to light.
Uh, Let me think. Because, you know, we all knew they were prepping Cassie to basically be the new Ant-Man. That was a given. I'd like to see more of that. You know, they really didn't show as much as I thought they were going to show with Cassie as far as doing the working the inner workings of a suit and stuff.
Yeah,
That, and it comes to my attention that she's not too much different from the Wasp or Ant-Man.
she's like a mixture of both.
Both, yeah. So it would be a nice pass off if that's what they were trying to do, but it really didn't feel like an Ant-Man movie. It felt like a Kang movie almost.
Yeah, did it really?
Almost. It felt like it was more story towards him than anything else, you know what I'm saying? And mind you, this is supposed to be a trilogy arcing story on Ant-Man, and all they really talked about was, for the most part, what happened in the quantum realm with Janet.
Stupid.
You know, and that's what makes Janet's character so trash,
Ass.
because stuff that really could have been resolved early on, and when we do the spoiler review, we could dive deeper into that. But she could have prevented a lot of this, you know, or at the least gave everybody a heads up of what's going on down there. So
Which is why I said a lot of it could have been avoided altogether. Like,
Yeah.
all she had to do was talk.
yeah,
But it was just almost just like I said,
Yeah.
how she didn't want to talk about it and get into it because she
Yeah.
was just happy to be back with everybody, so to say.
yeah.
I guess.
And also what I wanted to see more from Cassie is how the freak she became so enamored with quantum physics to the extent that she could build machines and stuff. Like I got that right clearly. I called that. I knew she was gonna be a freaking quantum whiz going into the movie because her dad was gone, and that was it. Damn near dead on. Like, I wrote it myself, you know. And there was a lot of other points we got dead on. You know, it was. I don't want to say a predictable movie because
It was. Like, don't sugarcoat this, man. It was, man.
no, and I was gonna say why, because the ending, I didn't expect it to play out the way it did. There were certain aspects I honestly didn't expect it to play out the way it did, but overall, I would have to say, yeah, it is a pretty predictable movie. Like, we did get majority of it guessed out,
Yeah.
you know.
But for you to say that it's majority like a Kane movie,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they showed him enough. Like, they showed him a lot, but
Yeah,
most of what they showed was kind of just like, all right, he's that guy, but he's
Yeah.
not that guy at this moment.
you know, when I say it's a Kang story, it feels more like what they tried to do with I almost want to say the Eternals. Like, wait, it's a lot of flashbacking and stuff like that, you know. But for the most part, he's the figure everybody's enamored on. So, you know, that's who everybody's talking about. Everybody's either afraid of him, don't speak his name. They knew him. They want to know who he is. He done conquered this, area or whatever.
Yeah.
He in exile. They, all kinds of stuff. So they really, it just felt like any more on Kang, and it would have just been a complete Kang movie. And he really didn't get shown. He didn't get shown off like I would have liked, but he was present pretty much the entire film for the most part. And and we jump in the back and forth between groups, but everybody's on the way to Kang. So
yeah, and even though he wasn't present throughout the whole movie, they definitely made sure and they got their point across of his presence. You know what I mean?
And I saw a comment that just said it reminded them of X-Men, and I can see that. Maybe like which X-Men was it? The Days of Future Past? No.
No, it has to be X3.
No.
What is it?
I was thinking
The
Apocalypse.
Phoenix. The Apocalypse, yeah.
That was the one I was going for. That remind scene is visually it does remind me of that one. And you know what? I did appreciate the fact that it still had the humorous undertones. And the fact
it had a lot.
And the fact that
it actually worked.
It worked, and they didn't undermine Kang's moments with humor. I appreciated that, because Kang is a serious character. Ant-Man, he I don't think he was always supposed to be funny, but he's a funny character now. Him and I guess Thor, I didn't like the humor they tried to put in the last Thor movie, but
and what is this? How do you say this? Theopolis?
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 Yeah.
Lord,
Theopolis.
I'm so sorry. That's on me. So how you said you saw the movie. How did you think about the movie? Put that in the comment. Let us know what did you think of the movie? Like, what would you rate the movie? But Ant-Man, he surprised me, but really didn't. And it was more surprised me because, just like in the trailers, it seemed like the celebrity status overtook him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he completely got away from the reason that he is Ant-Man.
But I like that. I thought that was a compelling part of the story because when you think about it, all the Avengers, for the most part, are up and righteous. They don't have room to be swayed by the ways of the world. And then here it is, we got an ex-con that just so happens to come up on Avenger lifestyle, and he got fame now. Can you blame him for writing that? I'd have wrote books too. I'd have had a podcast. I'd have been doing Jimmy Fallon appearances, all kinds of stuff.
And look, yeah, but I mean, you have to remember like what got you there. You know what I mean?
Still in a suit, doing what he do best.
Come on, man. No, man.
No, I know what you mean.
I mean, because after a while, I mean, there's scenes in the movie during that time, that part, which it kind of obviously humbled him because the dude in the shop. Yeah, I'm gonna need that money, boss.
Oh man, got him good.
But you see, BC said Ant-Man all the way. Yeah, you say that now, but you know what? Go watch it and give your opinion. When you go watch it, make sure you come back here and give your opinion.
And do not let the outward opinion sway you, because it's not nearly as bad as they criticize this movie to be.
No, not at all.
Do not get me wrong. This movie has a ton of flaws, but as of recently with the products we've been getting from Disney, majority of the movies that have flaws in them anyway.
Definitely.
So it's to be expected at this point. I think they're at a point in Marvel and Disney where they just in autopilot and they just pushing out material to be pushing it out.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it autopilot, I feel like it's more of like a rebuilding stage because they basically killed everybody off. Some of the actors and actresses are tired of playing these roles. They want to go and do other stuff.
Yeah, because it didn't even occur to me that Paul Rudd has been Ant-Man for almost a decade now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy. And that's a minor character. Technically speaking, it's compared to the movies that
the other ones, But I mean, he at least he can say he had a good trilogy, unlike Thor.
Yeah, but
he's on this quadruple. Yeah,
it just ain't no getting it right. I mean, I like the Cap trilogy, the Iron Man trilogy was good. Yeah. But this Ant-Man trilogy definitely.
See, you fucking up. Yeah.
6.5 is decent. I rate the movie a 6.5. Honestly, that's fair.
Yeah.
I would have went 6.5. 7 is being generous.
I'd have gave it I'm generous then. I'd give it a 7 only because of the fighting towards the end.
And honestly, when I told you when I was in there, I leaned to about a 7 anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But the whole wise, I think is being generous. We could have got a lot more from Kang. We got a lot more from Cassie. We could have got a lot more. We could have got a quantum realm.
We could have got a huge amount more out of Wasp.
Yeah, yeah.
Hank.
Yeah, facts.
Hank gave a lot towards the end.
Towards the end, yeah.
Hey, Hank is that dude, man.
Except when it comes to the ladies.
You know what? No, you can't even say that. I mean, he had his time, and he said that. But that's a story for another time. But yeah, I mean, BC said boo. I don't know. Have you seen the movie? Is the question. If you haven't seen the movie, then you wouldn't fully understand it. You know what I mean? But
it just left more to be wanted. Like I said, it was so much more that could have been put in. And honestly, it was so much that could have been put in. It could have been a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, I think most of the movie, like most Marvel movies, can be 4 plus hours.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
4-hour movies.
And if anything really proves that, now don't scourge me. Like don't hold it against me. Justice League.
Yeah.
When they stretched that movie to a 4-hour movie, there has been a lot of dead moments in that movie, but it was far better than the original one.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And I don't think that they believe anybody will sit through a 4-hour movie in a movie theater.
I gotta disagree though.
I'm not sitting for a 4-hour movie in a movie theater unless it's like the Boondocks and I'm laying in a bed watching a movie.
The only reason I disagree is because we're in a era of movie and cinema and television where the time frame of everything we watch is shifted. I remember TV shows without commercials were like 25 minutes across. Now they 45 minutes to an hour long. That used to be the length of a movie. In a movie, a movie is for the most part at the minimal is about 2 hours now. With your everyday movie, ones that aren't trying to build up worlds and stuff like that. They ain't big, like Endgame and stuff. And then you find more movies that are hitting the 3-hour and 4-hour mark, like John Wick did it in the third one. Yeah, it got pretty close to 4 hours.
But we've seen Marvel do that from time to time, where they stretch the movies out longer because they see now that they have that leeway and people want more of the story. You know what I mean?
You see what I'm saying? Like Theophilus, he said Lord of the Rings was 4 hours, and honestly, they sat through that. Yeah. And that was like before its time. I'm pretty sure people thought, good God.
But Lord of the Rings won a lot of awards though.
But like I said, it's before its time. You didn't see a lot of movies going that long. 2 hours was ridiculous. At that time period, that was ridiculous. Like how long was the Green Mile?
I don't remember.
It was long. I'm gonna leave it at that. But you know what? You had movies like that were just long, and people supported it. It got tons of awards, but you didn't see that. Now you have more Marvel. I really feel like kind of started the trend, especially after Endgame,
Yeah.
where they made it more comfortable to put out these longer movies. So I think that if we were getting the quality in the story, people would sit
Yeah.
through a 4-hour movie. If you knew you were
But
gonna get a good movie, I think you would sit through a 4-hour movie.
yeah, now this particular movie definitely should have been at least 3 to 4 hours
It should have
because
been.
the story felt kind of rushed.
It did. I agree.
It's like they built it up so much to be the holy grail of the Ant-Man
yeah.
movies, but it's like they rushed it to hurry up and get Kang into the like even
Into
further.
the
Like he was
fold,
already in the Loki series.
Yeah, they were
but
trying to add him into the fold faster.
Right.
You know, and I agree with that because I felt like they really were just kind of in one section of the quantum realm. They really didn't go to they went to Kang's area, the refugees, and that was and the guy who was Bill Murray was playing. They went to his area and he was like the high class, but they really didn't go to and from what Janet was expressing is that the quantum realm is so vast and so big, and there's this and you know it's a whole nother universe basically.
yeah, but I mean, she expressed that and everything.
Yeah,
That would have been nice to know beforehand.
true. A lot
Because-
of things would have been nice to know.
Yeah,
beforehand.
like even when everything happened,
yeah,
she still was acting the same.
yeah.
And it's like at this point,
You gotta
it's too,
tell us,
It's
yeah.
too late at this point.
Yeah.
Like we need this information.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and she definitely kept that same energy through the whole movie for the most part.
Yeah. See, now Jess said that the villain made the movie.
Oh, definitely. Kang. That was, and you know, that's why I'm like, this was Kang's movie. You know, this was his introduction. If this was, you know, his one shot, how they been doing the specials, this was it.
Yeah.
This was his moment to shine. They even gave backstory. That was probably the more interesting. I wish they would have went deeper into that.
Yeah,
you know,
but,
seeing
yeah, because they only gave you like a quick little glimpse of
of
you
it,
know what I mean?
and then it was quick scenes and flat. I was like,
Yeah. But it really didn't seem like a flashback. It seemed like, now that you think about it, it seemed like a future because everything that they showed ended up happening before us, like right in the movie. Like, think about it.
well, a good portion of, well, you know, because he got a lot of those same powers.
Yeah.
I just take it as when what's his name in Loki, He Who Remains, the other variant, when he was saying that basically how time is all happening exactly at the same time. So I took it as that because, you know, we got to remember that the quantum realm is outside of time and space. So
Yeah.
if these are, if it is anything going into the future, we wouldn't know. And if it's anything in the past, we wouldn't know. She made it seem as though these were things she saw him do, but when he asked about it, he didn't seem like he knew what was going on, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Because it's like she saw something,
Yeah.
but you know, it's like he knew already, but he didn't know exactly which one did she see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
But then again, he did say a lot of that was blurring together, so he could just be warped in his own mind right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like it.
I don't know. He seemed a little shit crazy. Huh?
Yeah, but I mean, when you're down there so long
Yeah.
trying to get out,
Yeah.
you know, you ask for help, the help craps you over. I mean, yeah, it's bound to happen. Because, I mean, there's no telling what all he's done. You know what I mean? Like, even up to the point to where Ant-Man went into action, maybe he tried to do that too, and it messed him up instead of him conquering it. So,
Devil's advocate, eh?
yeah, so
You know, it's just Kang is the type of character that could really hold his own story. from what I've seen.
Well, I mean, they're kind of showing that,
And
seeing that he's getting multiple movies.
yeah, and what I was gonna say is basically they could have really left Kang out of this movie and just gave him his own.
Yeah, but who would the villain be?
It would have had to be MODOK, which
No,
they turned into comic relief. And I know you didn't care for it, but visually, I didn't see any other way to portray MODOK. Any other way, and it got clowned on because everybody thought it was gonna be the screen face.
They thought it was gonna be the face from off of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
If it was that, I would have felt. But you know, it's supposed to be strange looking and odd. You know, I honestly don't see any other way to translate that to real life capacity. You know what I'm saying? What do they call it? When it looked almost real, but it's not.
AI type ordeal?
Uncanny valley.
Uncanny?
No, uncanny.
Uncanny.
Yeah. So it looks almost too real, but it's in a creepy way. The only thing I didn't care about is they made him bald. That was funny.
I mean, he was already bald.
Well, in a lot of the other ones, I thought he had hair.
He definitely didn't have it. Well, the guy didn't have hair.
Oh,
he was
that's
bald.
right. He was bald. I forget.
He was one of me, okay? He had one of mine. You feel me? So nah, he don't get that pleasure.
Yo,
I'm not gonna give him the pleasure of even us making that mistake. Nah, he was one of
As a matter of fact, bro, MODOK was probably one of my other favorite characters. He was funny. I enjoyed it. It was funny.
Yeah, it was.
He was definitely mad funny.
There was definitely a wasted opportunity though.
Yeah, most definitely. Man, and it's hard not to give spoilers on it, you know, without.
Yeah, it's rough, you know, but we're not gonna just completely ruin everything. You know what I mean? But we will say that from the last video that we did and we talked about it, some of that is what it is and some of it's not.
Yeah, most definitely. It was a okay movie. You know, like I said, the 7 is generous. You know, I can see a 6.5 being fair. I'm giving it a 7 because I did like what I saw, but you know, 6.5 is fair.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I said 7 is just Kane himself.
Really stole the show.
Yeah, and then like I said, at
the end credits, he stole the show.
Yeah,
he stole it, and honestly, that really, to me, that just shows depth. Jonathan Majors, you know, how his acting is, you know, because people forget the Kang we saw in Loki and the Kang in this movie are two totally different Kangs. Yeah. So his acting chops are amazing, you know. So that
because I mean he's basically playing two different characters.
He really stole the show, you know. Not to take anything from anybody else, you know. You could tell a lot of it was them standing in CGI rooms.
That's a lot of it that was just voice. Yeah. Yeah, and it's more noticeable in this movie than usual. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which makes me believe that it was kind of rushed.
I do think it was rushed.
Yeah, because, I mean, like, once they put out, you know, their map plan, if they don't delay it...
They should stop doing that. I do. I think it puts too much pressure.
They can't stop doing it now. They already got everybody used to it.
Used to it, yeah. But, you know, I remember at one point in time, they said they were going to stop doing the phases, and then they kept doing it anyway.
People have gotten used to it. You can't start something and stop doing it. You know?
I'm a firm believer people don't know what they want until you tell them. You know what I'm saying? So if they was to take it away, they go whine and moan for a while, but you stick to your guns, eventually they'll get used to it. I just think it puts too much stress on the studio because instead of focusing all their energy into a project at a time like they used to do, they hyping everybody up for several projects at once, so they spread everywhere. Because I'm still waiting for Blade. I'm excited about Blade. All I can think about is Blade. And it's like 10 movies and shows in between that to come. Yeah,
But I mean, like we said, they had to redo the script.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But with this movie, I'm not gonna say that I'm mad I went to go see it. It was good, but I mean
Yeah.
it wasn't
What it was hyped to be.
it's not the caliber of quality that we're used to Marvel putting out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you say it's better than any of the first two Ant-Man?
God, the second one wasn't really.
The second one to me was
Second
just
one-
there.
Yeah, the second one was okay. I would say that it's better than the second one.
I give you that.
I say it's better than the second one.
I did
And,
like the second one, but it just feel like it's just there.
Yeah,
like
the first one was.
Black
I like
Widow
the first
movie.
one.
Yeah, most definitely, because the cast was it was just a perfect clash. It just I don't even think they expected that to play out. Like you put T.I. in a comic book movie, you never know what you're gonna expect.
I mean, he didn't have many lines.
He didn't, but the lines he did have, bro. Come on. you not gonna undersell Tip for me, bro. That dude was funny on there. You know what? I hope your comedy career picks up, bro.
And you know, and I just noticed that
What?
that is what we missed in this movie.
Yeah, a lot of the characters that we had been grown with in the series. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
it could have been a longer movie. I wanted to see what happened to his friends and the business that they had.
I
Since,
wanted somebody to get the one punch knockout. Okay,
you feel me?
we got it every movie except for this movie. You know.
But you know, like when I was saying that everything just seems autopilot for me with Disney and Marvel, because they do the same thing. You know, like towards the end, it's a big battle, and they splinter off to fight they selective person, and they did that in the Black Panther movie. You know, it was a big battle. They split off to fight they selected people, and you know, and they've been doing that since I want to say Endgame, honestly.
But I mean, you got to think it's just like video games. Like
Yeah.
like when you think of 2K and you know God of War, Madden, all that. There's no competition. So why would we change anything? Why would we go above? And we know you're gonna come watch it.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna give you this. This is what we think you want. If you don't want this, we telling you this is what you want.
Yeah.
Just like you said, nobody knows
facts.
what they want
until
unless you tell them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately for them, I know what the
Fuck, I won't. Yeah. you know, even with what I said, I think it clashes though, because at this point, you know, we've gotten so much of what we wanted, and now they're trying to change the formula to tell us what we want. And for the most part, we just want them to stay not only accurate to the source material, but we want a compelling story, you know, and not something that we feel is just slapped together. And I know they know that. That's been the one universally translated thing amongst fans and moviegoers alike. We would like a good story, along with good visuals, along with good acting. I don't think that's too much to ask for, but it seems like it is. And they got the good actors. They spend hella money on visual effects that they fuck up anyway.
Very much.
That they always fuck up anyway. And the story is just getting more and more half-assed.
I mean, at this point, this is how I feel. I feel like they're trying to make the extra characters because they killed off Iron Man.
Yeah.
They basically killed off Cap.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they're trying to make like side characters and like basically they're Avengers, but
Yeah.
I mean they're sidekicks.
I mean, that's all we got
they're
left.
sidekicks. Let's be real. All right, they're not the main. They're not the front line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like they're trying to broadcast that more
Yeah.
because like they killed off the main attraction of it.
Yeah.
Like the only one that's left is Thor. Nobody cares about those movies anymore.
Yeah. I don't think.
But like that last one was just
Yeah.
like I don't know, man.
You know, as far as the last Thor movie, I was more disappointed in how they portrayed Gore, the God Butcher. That should have been a brutal ass movie, and it shouldn't have been as comedy driven as it was. That should have been a dark movie.
Yeah.
It should have been a dark movie.
Like
And
they legit really could have gave him a scene like they gave Kane.
yeah. Yeah.
Because
facts.
they really just let Kane off the chain. It was like, all right, do what you do.
And I can tell that they really are taking their time with Kang. They do not want to mess this villain up. I could see it. And they still are messing up other villains in the process.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to say what they did to MODOK, but I was not pleased to how that played out. It was funny, but I was definitely not pleased at his ending. So I'll leave that on the table. But I don't think I've been pleased with too many of the way that they portray the villains out.
Well, I don't think it's more of how they portray the villains.
Well, not portray,
it's more of
the endings.
yeah,
Yeah, how
because a lot of these villains that they do, even though it's just for that movie, man, they go out like real suckers, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I don't think that Kang is gonna go down that road for the most part. But like I said, I feel like they're trying to put these side Avengers to the front.
I mean, they really don't have a choice. Like you said, they done killed off the mainstay characters.
Well,
which is to be seen.
Really. The one thing that they can do, and I know they won't, is Hulk. He's still there.
Cause you gotta do a whole deal like with Sony, you know, because technically Hulk is under Universal, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So they would have to go back and rework that whole, which is why they never went back after the Incredible Hulk movie. And they partially retconned it. They kept certain people in position to play character roles and stuff.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen anything about his love interest, Betty. What her name is? Betty Ross. The main girl in the man. Ever since they done introduced him in the MCU, she's been gone. You know, they picked and choose what they wanted to keep and never went back to it. And then they just been throwing Hulk elements because it don't seem like Universal care what they doing as long as it's not an individual movie.
You know, I don't even think it's the individual movie that's the issue. I think they're afraid to touch it.
Because if they butcher Hulk again, bro.
I think they're afraid to touch it.
Honestly, because at this point, you know what the next step of Hulk is. It's either Maestro World Breaker Hulk, or we gonna have to get some like World War Hulk type thing. And those that aren't up to speed on Hulk, man, that dude's got some interesting backstory. Like, dude has got a complete direct line to hell, which is the reason he keep getting revived.
Yeah,
you know. So people don't realize the Hulk is probably one of the more interesting characters in MCU, or not MCU, in Marvel, because MCU is completely separate.
Yeah, very, very much. And they're really solidifying that right now. You know?
Definitely solidifying that, because this is not the Marvel we grew up with as children.
Well, technically speaking, I mean, really wasn't. We were children, but we wasn't children.
Children, yeah. I mean, I had the comic books. I was always buying. That was how my mom got me to read. So,
hey, man.
Hey, you gotta get it done.
Whatever works.
Whatever works.
Whatever works. But definitely, like, this movie, like, Janet is the real villain in this movie, okay?
Oh, without a doubt.
Do not let the trailer fool you.
Oh,
when you watch this movie, do not be fooled.
And she should have sacrificed herself.
Look, she really should have pulled a Black Widow.
She really should have.
She should have pulled a Black Widow, bro.
The fact that she is still alive for another movie is beyond me. It is beyond me.
Do you think they're doing another one?
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. It's going to be a little second, but I do think and I don't think it's going to be about Paul Rudd, though. I think the next Ant-Man movie is going to be
I don't think so.
Cassie.
I don't think so.
I think so. They've gotten to the habit of doing that. Even with Captain America, that's how they passing it off. It's still Captain America 4, but it's not the Captain America that's been in the original trilogy.
Well, I mean, they're not about to come and, hey, come watch Ant-Woman.
Well, okay, you know they're gonna have to change the name. It'll be, you know what though? If they do another Ant-Man movie, it'll probably be heavily with her involved.
Yeah. See, like, she'll be a character, yes.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to do anything with just her, knowing how Disney do these things,
It'll be a show.
It'll be a series that should
Or
have
a
really been a
special.
movie, but they turned it and they chopped it up into a show.
Which is why they done got into that habit of doing them hour specials and stuff now. They done caught on what we have caught on. They know we've caught on. Like the WandaVision definitely was a movie. Hell, I could even say that
But then that goes on to what we were already saying, which is when they map out these movies, they really should be longer.
yeah, most
And
definitely.
when they're doing these shows, that really reflects that
yeah.
because they seem more like they seem better drawn out.
Oh, I'm glad you said something about the shows and the being better drawn out. While we here at Disney, hey, y'all got to start dropping every episode at once. All this one episode a week crap.
That takes away the suspense.
Nah, fuck all the suspense. Netflix, this is why Netflix is up one.
Are they?
Kinda, but let's not cut down Netflix.
No, we need to cut down Netflix. All right,
because
these prices are ridiculous.
Yeah, and they stopping us from sharing accounts and stuff now. I don't like that Netflix.
I don't know,
but I do like that y'all drop all y'all episodes at once. I can binge watch.
They do, but they don't. Because now they start doing increments and they do,
It'd be enough episodes to satisfy you.
Batches.
They do one episode.
It depends.
And even HBO dropped at least 2 or 3 episodes on the first go.
It depends on the show. They're definitely not doing it with Last of Us.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They're savoring that one.
Yeah, but that's a good show.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
Yeah, it was. Anyways, if they do anything with Cassie and they want to do something with her alone, it'll be a show. And I feel like if they do a show, they'll do like Miss Marvel, and then they'll eventually branch it off into a movie.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's not already a thought.
Yeah.
If that's not already a thought. Because, like you say, you can clearly see that they're transitioning into all the new characters. You know, I don't know if or when or if the Young Avengers is on the table already. You know,
well, I mean, I don't know if it's on the table already. They're definitely setting up for it.
Oh man, they don't do nothing but set up.
Yeah.
And Ant-Man, it wasn't huge on setups, but it's got a lot of setups for other stuff, other projects in it.
Yeah. That it has a lot of references in it.
Yeah.
You know, you can definitely tell, like,
and don't get me wrong, I like the Easter eggs and stuff like that, but it's not subtle anymore. It used to be subtle. I used to see stuff in the background and be like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing.
Before you would have to watch the movie at least
a few times.
Yeah, to catch it. Or you go on YouTube and see a video. It's like, hey, did y'all notice this?
Yeah, and now it's so blatant. It's like saying the name of the movie in the movie.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
Look right here. It's right here in front of you.
Because I kid you not, if any one of them would have said Quantumania, I probably would have walked out the theater.
No, you wouldn't. You paid your money.
Yeah, that was expensive as hell too.
You paid your money. You wasn't going nowhere.
But you know what, man? I if they would have did that, it would have pissed me off, bro. It's like it's moments like that. They were just blatantly out with the Easter eggs and stuff like that, and the stuff that they pushing for other movies.
For the most part, the way the movie went, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did say it.
Did you know what? Did they squeeze it under the radar?
Well,
if they squeeze it under the radar and I ain't noticed, that's one thing. If I could catch it on the first go around, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
Yeah,
you know, but. If they squeezed it through it, I ain't catch it. That's a whole nother story. I might let that ride.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, if they did do it,
yeah,
definitely wasn't noticeable. Yeah. If it was, then I guess we didn't think too much into it until now.
Yeah, but they definitely, it was what I like to call product placement. The posing and stuff for the 3 main heroes. Definitely to sell products. You know, like I said, they were pushing Kang heavy. We know that's to push more movies and stuff. You could see that there's a lot of placement for other things in the Ant-Man movie.
But even though I talk trash about it, I appreciate the fact that they didn't have Janet coming and telling everything, because that leaves room for this movie.
Yeah.
Not even the fact that the movie happened. It's just when they go down there, you don't know what's there. You know what I mean? Because they never showed anything that was down there until now.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, really, the trailer really doesn't show you anything.
Nah, actually, the trailer's kind of misleading.
Yeah, a whole lot. Because you would think it's going here, but it went there, and that's about it from it. But once you start watching the movie, it's like,
okay,
huh.
And you just kind of have to take it for what it is.
That's how that works, huh? Mm.
Yeah, they don't explain a lot of things either. You know, as far as how the science of stuff works, it just happens, and that's that.
Yeah.
You know, even with Kang, which is cool. I don't expect Kang to explain much, but
well, I mean, it's not even more him explaining anything. You know, he's not going to explain anything. I mean, he's that guy.
Yeah, it's like I'm cool with Kang. That's one thing, but you know, these are main protagonists.
Yeah.
You know, you would think if anybody's explaining to the audience to keep us on track, it would be them. You know, the people who are the
I mean, but in a sense they did, with slight flashbacks here and there.
Kinda.
But they cut the flashback short, really. They didn't really give you much information.
It felt more loose and broad than anything. Like the explanations they were given could just be blanketed over things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't really detailed. It was enough to be like, oh, okay, all right. Like, I can't really argue that, but at the same time, that feel weird, you know, like you trying to sell me something that I don't know if I really want to buy, but honestly, I ain't got too many other options.
Yeah, it's like they sold you this, but then once you buy it, once you get it, you're questioning like, damn, why did I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like they give you some, but it leads to another question.
Yeah. Because I have tons of questions, and in the spoiler review, we gonna rip their ass apart.
Yeah, man. But I don't know, man. Like, go watch the movie.
Go watch the movie. Definitely go see the movie. It's worth going to at least go see in theaters. You know. It's worth going to see. If it wasn't worth going to see, and we probably wouldn't even do the review.
We would still do the review.
It would be real jaded though.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna sit here and lie and say, "Oh yeah, go watch it. It's a wonderful Marvel movie." Like, no, we're not gonna do that. You know,
definitely have seen better Marvel films.
Yeah, like if we wasted our money, we wouldn't want you to waste your money. You know what I mean?
And it wasn't a waste of money. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't a waste of money at all. Like, just Kang himself was worth the money.
It didn't. Ant-Man didn't progress any of the quantum story that is going into this new phase. You know, it didn't push anything. We already knew what Kang was getting ready to do. We already knew he was there. We already knew the variants were coming. It didn't add or take away anything. It was just there. Same thing with the second Ant-Man movie. It was just there. Same thing with Black Widow. It was just there. Stuff that probably should have been addressed long before, but they waited too long.
Yeah.
And it was just there. You know, it really, to me, it didn't add or take away anything from what we already knew going into this phase and I was hoping for more information. You know, I feel like I really left out with more questions than answers. I didn't get the information I was looking for. And this is supposed to be Quantumania.
But this movie seemed more like they didn't want you to really focus on Ant-Man, the Wasp, or anybody.
I agree.
It's like they gave you Kang for you to want more Kang because of the multiple movies. And that's exactly what it felt like. Like, the movie's playing, but it actually really gets started when he's introduced.
Oh, it definitely got started when he was
And
introduced.
when he's introduced, and all this stuff is happening. This happened, that's happening. This is shown, that's shown.
Mm-hmm.
They give you some, but they don't give you everything. And I think that's because everything they didn't give you will be in the other movies.
But see, then that makes me wonder, when they go to the next movie, are they going to do the same thing? And then all the stuff we want to know is just going to be in the next movie. They're just going to keep doing this?
I think it did. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised from these cliffhangers they leave you with on these shows, but I think it depends on what movie's next.
What is next? Actually, Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, comes out next.
I mean, Kang-wise. Kang-wise was
Kang
next.
Dynasty or the Avengers? No, that is the Avengers movie, the Kang Dynasty.
I'm gonna have to check that out. But yeah, it just seems like they want to make sure it's like what they do with their subscription.
Yeah.
They give you a little bit to keep you there.
And enough to
Enough to want more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if he's in Loki season 2, then that's supposedly I think sometime this year. Sometime.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they already released the trailer for Loki season 2.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't really see.
That was another product placement for me. You know, they promoted for Loki season 2.
Yeah. So the Kang Dynasty, that is 2025. That is 2025.
Couple years.
Yeah. So with that being said, I believe the next movie or throughout the movies, because at this point they done set up the next big villain.
Yeah.
You're gonna those end credits and those post credit scenes are gonna give you more information before you get to the big banger.
Yeah, which is crazy because now post credit scene or end credit scenes, and them things are just trailers now.
But I mean, they've been doing this for a while. It just it wasn't as noticeable because of the heroes they had on the front line.
I don't know. They didn't feel like trailers though at the time. They feel like trailers now. They literally feel like when they'll take a snippet for the next project and this is what they would have shown if they were just putting it on TV for one of those TV spots or something like that.
Yeah.
And it feels like that. Originally when Iron Man was having those end credit scenes, it felt like this was extra footage of the movie.
Well, I mean, it probably felt that way because it was the beginning.
Maybe so.
So
and
once they gave
how they did it.
Once they gave it to you so much, it's like, all right, what is this? What like this? I need more.
Like even still, the Shang-Chi, I felt like they did it right on the end credit scene. That felt like an extension of the movie when they were in a bar hanging out, and then Wong pop up like, "Hey y'all, we not finished.
Yeah.
The rings you got is doing some weird crap, and we need to go see what's going on with it." Now the end credit scenes are like jumping like Eternals. They didn't even talk about the Black Knight, bro.
We're not gonna talk about the internals.
But it adds to my point though. They the end credit scene that we got for with the blade and all that, it had nothing to do with the movie at hand.
Yeah, but I mean, it probably didn't have nothing to do with the movie. But they always throw an end credit in there that has something to do with a particular character in the movie. Yeah, they always do that, which is probably more than likely always the post credit scene.
Yeah,
because I believe that was a post credit scene.
Yeah, that was the post credit scene because the other one's a mid credit scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the post credit scene is usually something that has something to do with a character that's in there, not per se the movie itself.
Yeah.
Just a character that eventually leads to another movie or two.
Which is fine, but they were using a character to introduce another character that had nothing to do with it. You feel me?
Yeah.
And Blade to me doesn't fit in the Eternals landscape. You know what I'm saying? And the dude, Black Knight, the one that got the sword at the end, he barely fit into it. He was barely in the movie. You know, he really didn't. They didn't show his love triangle with old girl and what's his face. You know, it didn't feel like an extension of that. And in the same thing, one of the end credit scenes felt like an extension of this movie for me, and then the other one felt like a trailer for something completely different.
Well, I mean, but I mean, looking at the scenes, I mean, I think that's really what it was.
Yeah.
It definitely was. And if they did the Thor movie like this, right? Because this movie had a lot of humor.
Yeah.
Thor movie had too much humor. Entirely too much. You can't even defend it.
No, I wasn't. My thing with Thor, I don't think it had an identity when it started, as far as genre wise. I like that most of the movies in the MCU have a genre to them, and I don't feel like Thor had it. And when the second one, or no, I take that back. When the third one came out, Ragnarok, it felt like they were finally starting to
find the identity for him.
Yeah.
But once they supposedly found that identity,
they went too hard.
The way that people took to the movie, it's like they overblown. Like they shot past the designated spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you were supposed to hit the brakes on the train and you didn't hit it.
Yeah.
And you crashed the train.
To me, with Thor, his movies, honestly, they could change genre movie to movie. And that's probably what they should have aimed for. Tony was pretty much the same guy throughout. He made
Tony's Tony.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, he made character progression just like every other character did. But
of course he made character
like
progression.
You said, Tony is Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same thing with
he learns.
Yeah. Captain America, his movies were Captain America movies. Whether you like them or not is a whole nother thing, but they were consistent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as genre wise, the Ant-Man movies, comedy made sense because it started off as a comedy.
Well, I don't think it started off.
I don't think that was their intent.
The exact comedy, but they wanted some humor in there.
I don't think that was their intent. I know they wanted this movie to work.
But I think that was their attempt because it's consistent throughout all three movies.
Yeah, now.
So it's like
in that
you know what you're getting, but you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it works for Ant-Man. It works for Ant-Man because who Ant-Man is as a character.
Yeah.
It works. And who he hangs around.
Yeah.
It works. Thor, it don't work for Thor because you're Asgardian.
Yeah.
You're all business.
Serious.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, look, we here to get this, to get this started. You know what I mean? The What If showed that more than anything. You know what I mean? And the way that this movie went, it's like they reverted him backwards. Like he aged backwards. He's a man child.
Yeah, he definitely is a man child.
They turned him into a complete man child.
From the first one, he had done found worthiness back again, and that should have been an adult move right there, and he's just been steadily coming.
He didn't start going downhill until
Avengers.
Not even Avengers, because he was more serious in that movie. Especially Ultron.
No, Avengers. No, I wasn't even talking about Ultron. I'm talking about what was the one after that?
Endgame.
Yeah.
Not Endgame. That was the Infinity War.
Infinity War.
But it was more serious in that movie too, though.
But even still, I think that was when his decline was starting to really take place. His
decline started when they gave him that gut. Which was Endgame.
Yeah, that was Endgame, but that was right after Infinity War.
Yeah,
I was like, that to me, that's where his decline started.
But I don't think so. Not like the way he was in the
yeah.
movie, you know, because he was out there.
Yeah.
He, you know, he didn't have the hammer because, you know, he took that L. And he's been trying to get this axe the whole movie
Yeah.
to stop Thanos. You know what I mean? It's not until the next movie where he reverts to the man-child. He was playing Fortnite.
Well, and the only reason I stick with the Infinity War, because Ragnarok was right before Infinity War, and we saw how childish he was throughout that whole thing. Like, he didn't seem like the Thor that had grown and all of that.
Yeah. But all of that cut off once he was on that ship.
Yeah, in the Infinity War, because all of it got serious.
I mean, it got serious.
It was serious in Ragnarok.
It got serious as soon as the movie came on.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
He had already split the crew. I mean, kill half the crew.
Yeah. So, you know, Ragnarok, he reverted backwards.
Yeah.
Infinity War, he came back to where he was supposed to be, and then it went back down, crashing horribly. But Cassie as a character has definitely grown. She is completely different than what she was in the other movies, and you can tell the snap, those 5 years really affected her.
Yeah.
A lot. And they make sure in this movie
to show
that and make sure that you know this really affected her a lot.
Yeah. And she wasn't a real criminal like I thought. I was actually wrong about that. She was just doing peaceful protesting. Well, she did use some Hank technology in the process too, but you know, for the most part, it was just peaceful protests.
Yeah, but she definitely has her rebel like she don't listen
at all, but
she don't listen. And when she do listen, it's like reverse psychology.
Yeah.
And it's basically just to get what she wants.
Yeah,
and
she
her character
Ant-Man.
seems real selfish. Like
she played Ant-Man a few times.
Yeah,
and he let it happen.
Of course he let it. It's his daughter. It's his daughter.
And he had plenty of room to make an argument, and he just let her have it.
It's almost like he went to prison. He feels guilty for the time he lost.
Yeah.
You know, and
I can see that. I can see that.
That affects a lot. You know what I mean? And she's definitely taking full advantage of that.
Yeah, most definitely.
All of it.
You know, that bring up another question. I didn't see her other parents at all.
No, they were mentioned.
Yeah,
they were mentioned, but like
did not see them.
Nothing. Like
nothing,
they were just non-existent. But to be fair, you didn't see anybody from the outside world at all.
Which is why I felt like the movie was just hollow. Oh no, not hollow. That's the wrong word. It was just missing pieces, big pieces that we had already been establishing through the rest of the movie. You know, even if they weren't the main points of this movie, I felt like a nice tap in with some of these characters wouldn't have been unappreciated.
Yeah.
You know? Hell, T.I., he wasn't in the second one.
He was.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He was.
But they cut him back a lot in that one. They did. I remember.
Not really.
They did. They cut, because they gave, really. What's his name? The Hispanic guy. He got a lot more scenes.
He do got a lot more scenes.
He got a lot more scenes.
But T.I. got a lot of scenes too.
In that first one, he did.
He had a lot. I mean,
they
you saw
him back in that second one.
Yeah, but I mean, the first one, when you saw one of them, you saw the other two.
Yeah.
You know, all of them had their own separate scenes. It's just the Hispanic guy had more.
I still feel like they dialed T.I. back in the second one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did, but I don't think it's as much as you know.
Yeah, I feel you. But point being, these characters, you know, we had them kind of grew it in this movie series. It would have been nice to touch back, unless they do actually plan on doing an Ant-Man 4, which all honestly is possible. It's not like, you know, it would be hard to do.
Well, I mean, the way it ended, I don't think they need to.
They don't need to, but
the way it ended, I don't think they need to.
Yeah.
They could really just throw him into like
Yeah.
one of the future Avenger movies.
To
or something,
me,
you know what I mean?
Disney isn't a question of whether or not they need to. It's whether or not they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
then
They, like you said, that
the
mouse
way
man,
these movies are coming out now,
Yeah.
I think they have to be a little bit more cautious now.
I mean, because they're not invincible anymore. We see that.
No,
You know, we see that. It used to be a almost guaranteed land on any movie that they drop. Now we in uncertain territories, unsure waters, and we don't know what the product that we gonna get from Marvel and DC. I mean, and Disney.
you know what the product is.
I mean,
it's the same setup every movie.
You know what the product is. When I say when we don't know what we don't know if we're gonna get a plus movie or just some.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you ask. If you're tired of the formula, yeah, it's not going to be an A+ movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this movie follows that formula. It follows the formula all the way to a T, completely. It's like they have a book or a board, and if somebody comes in, it's like, oh, I did a story already. I did this. It's like, yeah, look at the board. Look at the board. All right, that's cool. You like to think and all that. That's cute. Look at the board. All right, do what you're told.
Well, if they're gonna continue to just go with the mapped out plan, they're gonna really have to put a lot better twists and turns in the inner parts of the stories.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all for a formula. You know, hip hop has a formula, and a lot of artists stick to what works. If it works, it works. There's no need to fix what's broken, but clearly it's broken.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but like I said though, like just Kang alone gets you excited for the rest of the movies. You know what I mean? And I think with that, they knew exactly what they were doing because they gave you just enough at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And in all honesty, there's a particular part in the movie where I started to doze off, but I kept it alive.
Yeah.
Because I paid my money and I'm going to get my money's worth.
Facts.
But, hey, I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7.
Really?
Yeah. Like I said, because I remember I told you in the theater I gave it a 7.
Time out.
I told you in the theater I gave it a 7.
But if when we go back and look at this,
now,
you definitely said 6.5.
No, I definitely said 7. I said 6.5 is fair and 7 was generous. That I would be giving it a 7 because that's what I like. You can go back and watch that. I know for a fact that's what I said. But yeah, no, I said 6.5 is fair. And that me personally, I give it a 7 because I like the movie. And I told you I gave it a 7 in the theater. I ain't changed up. Hey. You ain't gonna catch me slipping like EJ. And that's no shade in my dog, right? But I keeps tabs on. But all seriousness, no. I do give it a 7. Like I said, a 6.5, that's fair. I can understand why they would give it a 6.5.
Okay, all right. Just said you said 7. I guess. All right. But hey, y'all go in the comments. Let us know what y'all think after y'all watch this movie. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, share this. We appreciate all the support that we're getting so far. We're trying to grow. We're trying to learn new things. We're trying to, do new and different things right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. So make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, turn on those notifications if you haven't done any of those. Most definitely. But hey, we appreciate y'all hanging with us, and hey, until next time.
Peace.